Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, hi. How are you doing today, Sahil?
Good, good. Yeah, I waited for you in the morning.
Yeah. I'm just on that time. I had family emergency, so that's why I won't able to uh take a part of this meeting. Sorry for that. How was your day?
Good, good.
That's great. And should we start?
Okay. Yeah.
So tell me, how did you become interested in architecture? Okay, and what inspired you to pursuing as a career?
Uh, to be frank, it was quite a late realization. Uh,
Why?
I after the 12th grade, the summer vacation,
Okay,
I picked up reading The Fountainhead
okay,
by Ayn Rand. So I think I owe her Ayn Rand. I owe her the reason why I applied for architecture. My father is an architect, but for some reason I wasn't very keen until I read the book,
okay,
and I thought the book really impressed me.
okay. So,
But I was still studying. It took a while to realize that this is exactly what I want to do.
okay. In your family, like you had a background. They will come from architecture. So it's meaning like your father supports you every time, like
Yes,
when.
yes,
Yeah.
he does. My mother is a ceramic designer. She's a product designer.
That's
So,
great.
um, so I was inclined towards design definitely, but which field I wasn't very sure.
Okay.
Until maybe second or third year of studying architecture. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, and let's say, when did you start as a career in architecture?
When did I start working?
Yeah, in which year?
Okay, so it's really tough to exactly say because I think after the vacation, summer vacation after first year, for every summer vacation, I was working in my father's office.
Okay,
Uh, that's how I spent my summer vacations. But then I graduated in 2004. So so I worked for a while, and then 2006, I did my master's. And so, yeah, after that, basically, I set up the firm after that. Yeah.
okay. So, let's say, and what is your design process like, conceptual to finalize a project?
Oh, so I don't know how to put it in words, but first, I try to understand what exactly the client's requirement is because most of the time it's something very vague. So to put that, I mean, to put requirements is one thing, but to convert that into a design, I think a bit of conversation with the client kind of helps trying to understand what exactly uh, are they looking for. By the end of the day, they want something which they are proud of, and you generally see a building will probably last a couple of generations. People don't tend to keep building new houses all the time. So it's something quite permanent, uh,
Yeah.
not forever, but So, uh, and then I like to experiment with Um, forms. A
Okay.
lot of my inspiration is from nature. I still make a lot of paper models. I know a lot of people are switching to maybe computer generated, computer aided forms. I still like to go for paper models. Um, I also work with clay, so that's how the form bit comes into play. Uh, and yeah, I mean, lately now we're trying to employ practices which are environment friendly. I wouldn't call them call the buildings absolutely green, but we try to incorporate as much of environment friendly practices as we can.
Okay. Let's say, how did you typically sources the product and material for your architectural project?
I think the material palette, I generally like to keep it simple uh, and basic because it is the design which speaks. Using expensive material does not qualify as a good design. It's
Okay.
how you use the material.
Yeah,
So I personally don't feel you should use very expensive materials. I would rather concentrate on detailing and yeah, we do a lot of experimentation with material and combinations. So every project is like an experiment. We are doing samplings a lot of time. Clients ask for 3D renderings, and it's very difficult because sometimes we have never made that thing before or used that material in that way, or it's a combination of materials. So basically, yeah, a lot of sampling work, trial and error also goes into it.
okay. And let's say, how did you manage your time and resources to ensure timely complete of a project?
Uh, See, we are basically design consultants. We are not involved in the construction.
Okay.
There are PMCs who are basically responsible for the timely finishing of it. We provide the designs and we execute, we oversee the execution of it. But
Okay.
that doesn't really, yeah, if it's, I mean, I make sure the work is not held up because of me. I can identify where the loopholes are and try to push things, try make sure the work is flowing easily.
Okay. Let's say, like, when did you start your career? What are the challenges, or like what are the difficulties you face at the moment?
Um, I don't say difficulties, I say challenges because when you are young, and especially when you are a woman, the challenges are of course, yeah, it's still there. Yes, being a woman is not easy. Sitting on the table with only men,
Yeah, I understand.
definitely. Very hardly have I come across uh, an AC consultant or a plumbing consultant or a structural consultant who is a woman. So very often I'm the only woman on the table. So that challenge is still there. And when you're starting, you're much younger. So yeah, now with experience, with all these years of experience, things are easier, I think.
Okay. In a COVID, let's say, in a COVID, what are the difficulties you see on that time period? Because like, COVID is a 3 years still. So what are the, like, on the time frame? What are the difficulties you face?
Um, COVID was a tough time. Thankfully, we didn't lose any family members, any close family members, thankfully. So I think that was okay. Um, there was one huge project that I had, which was not in the city, which was in the outskirts, and the laborers were still on site. So that did not come to a halt for a very long time. Work was going on, a bit slow. So we kind of managed to do a work from home kind of system with the staff where drawings were emailed and all. So besides a few months, I think work was there a bit slow, but only a few months it was completely stopped. So it wasn't that bad, I would say.
Okay. So, like you said, you sent some emails. So, you also said the labors on the site. So, how did you handle that labors?
No, no. So that means that they were working on site.
Okay,
The
okay,
work was on. They did not leave. they could not leave. The situation was like that. Uh, so the work was on. It didn't, few months it had stopped completely
Okay.
because material wasn't available. But otherwise, slowly things were going on. We could, in fact, I think it was better because we took our time to design. We had, our own sweet time because we knew that the moment the work starts, the moment this things open up, the work's going to start. So we could take our time to design and foresee, uh, prepare all the drawings of things we will need maybe 6 months in advance also.
So on the time frame, you design some, let's say you design the new things on that time frame.
Yeah.
And okay. Or how did you stay updated with the latest trend and materials and technology in the field of architecture?
Um, I'm not sure if I'm updated with the latest trends. uh,
Okay,
I
let's say
think
the
if you just,
material, the technology. Let's say not talk about the trend, but material technology.
so, I mean, so you understand when you pick up a material, you understand, the properties of that material, and you explore it to the fullest. So like I said, we like to keep the material palette very simple and basic, so you can uh, go about doing that. You make your own. It's like an experiment. It's not about, you try to do something which someone has not done. If you just start off with that principle, I think you will come up with something new.
Okay. Okay. And uh, uh, okay. Okay. Can you discuss? Can you let's say, can you discuss your experience? You have worked on a project with a limited resources.
um, Limited resources. So, see, there is no ideal project or there's no ideal client. If there's one thing less, then there is one thing more. It's kind of, either you have, um, either you have design freedom, but then you have a restriction of budget, or you don't have a restriction of budget. You can,
Design.
do anything, but then you have restriction of Vastu Shastra. Some Vastu consultant is uh, going overboard, I would say, putting a lot of constraints on you, in terms of design. So it's, I think it's a balance. It's like how do I say? It's like a design problem with restrictions. You kind of just take it up as a challenge like that.
Okay.
In,
And
yeah.
yeah. Uh, so, can you discuss your experience with designing the multifunctional space, such as like commercial residential projects?
Uh, so uh, residential projects are very different from other projects, mainly because in a residential project there are many members of the family bringing up requirements. It's the husband, wife, children, the parents. Everyone has their own uh, requirement or something to
Desires.
say about it. Yeah,
Like,
desires or whatever. So residential projects are definitely very different. The kind of freedom you have is, yeah, I would say a bit, yeah, you have to kind of understand what exactly they want. Compared to any other project, whether it's commercial or hospitality or institution, because there is only uh, either one body or one person calling the shots. It's easier to uh, work in terms of design.
Okay. And like how did you handle the challenges or modification to a project during the construction phase?
So we have modification and changes are continuous.
In a construction
Uh,
phase, like the project
yeah, in a
construction phase.
construction phase, in a construction phase, until the thing is built.
Okay.
Sometimes the client is making changes. Suddenly the requirement, or what they have seen, they see something, and suddenly they realize, no, I want something else. Or sometimes, see, working on, as an architect, I don't think you should just be working on drawings. Sometimes you go to the site, you feel the space, and you realize that this is what I want to do. So we we don't try to break what is made, but yes, there will be modifications in the drawings for the upcoming work, because you know a certain type of volume or space is created, and you feel that you could make most of it by making a few more changes. Then I think you should. Just because the drawings are done does not mean you restrict yourself.
Yeah.
So I think until it is built, uh, changes are welcome, and we do a lot of changes. Yes.
So let's say you have remember like one project you have to change, or like one client that remember all the time, like let's say like they are most of the time to say to change these things, to change these things, that kind of person you may people meet, or customer.
Yeah, there are, yes, there is, how do I put it? There is indecisiveness, which we often encounter. But as a professional, you also have the knowledge and the experience to make them understand the reason for doing certain things. So the client can be indecisive, but as an architect, I know why I'm doing certain things. So I might have to educate them. I have to make them understand that this is why we are doing certain things. If they come up with a valid point of changing, then okay, like in an ongoing family residence, the couple expected, were expecting a second child, and they realized they will need one more bedroom, which when we were digging the foundation, we did not know and we did not plan for. So an extra bedroom had to be added because there was going to be a second child.
Okay.
So you kind of find the space to do that, because it is a valid thing. They will need one.
Okay. Right now mm, okay. Can you describe your experience with the various architectural design and software tools using the projects?
Um, we use, yeah, mostly most of it is 2D. So like I said, so I make a lot of physical models,
Okay.
experiment with forms, and then we make 2D drawings of those,
Okay.
uh, which is easier for construction.
Okay.
Uh, so I don't know which project is. For example, I think you have featured the resort. It's a doubly curved shell roof, the Neons project. It's a resort
Let me
by
check.
the waterfall. So to get to so 2D drawings for that was a bit challenging. So on site, I resolved the curves. Basically, we tied wires and thread to get the exact curvature, because it was, it's curved in both directions, and plus it wasn't a simple straight curve. No,
Okay.
interview challenge. Interview.
So so like the project are you talking about, they are on an Archidust right now?
I think so I'm not sure. So the Neos project should be there. That is a double curve. On my Instagram page, I have also shown another residence which had a very uh, again a curved roof, a concrete shell roof, which was very complicated. Making drawings of that big, and also it was a waffle slab. So every two, it was a grid of 3 feet. So every 3 feet, the beam, the curve of the beam was different. The curve changed. So we made a small model with steel bars to understand the curve. So
Okay.
I think maybe I'm from a generation where 3D softwares were not that evolved or available, because when I studied, we in first year we still did hand drafting, and then we learned AutoCAD, which was 2D. And I think AutoCAD is very restrictive when you're trying to do. I mean, I don't know about AutoCAD, but a lot of CAD softwares are very restrictive when you're trying to do curves.
Yeah.
The
The cat
CAD
files.
drawing, not AutoCAD, but other. It's more. I don't know. When you want to generate two-dimensional curves, it's I can't do it, so I cannot explain anyone to do
No,
it for
no,
me.
no, no, it's totally okay.
So,
Uh,
yeah.
let's say right now you're also designing, so let's say the projects, sorry, not the project, let's say product.
Hmm. Sorry, what?
I said you're also designing some products.
No, no. The products, if you say products, yes, but they're in terms of interior design. Maybe a dining table, which is part of the interior,
Yeah.
or a planter, or like I said, uh, one of the projects we even designed the door handles, um, things like that. Lately, one project we did China mosaic on the floor, on the exterior, outside the main door on exterior, where we used glass balls and we have light in it. So it's a exterior flooring with light inside the flooring.
Okay.
So whether you call it product design, because it involved a lot of experimentation, the moment you put light in the floor, you have a problem of water seepage and things like that, right? Uh, so coming back to that, so I don't like to use ready-made available exterior floor lights. This light was uh, created
Like created
by,
by you.
yeah, yeah.
Trade goes to you. Okay.
So yeah. So as such, I don't have products which I can keep it on the shelf and say, okay, yeah, I don't have that, but maybe these kind of things.
Okay. Uh, like that's great. Okay. How did you balance the ethics and the functionality in your project design, in your architectural design? Sorry.
Ethics,
Yeah, ethics and the functionality.
uh, ethics and functionality are two different things. So ethics, you mean the code of conduct for architects?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean we stick by the code of conduct. We are not affiliated with any vendor or any company, because as a designer, I want my freedom uh,
Okay.
to use
To choose
whatever I
choose whatever.
choose. Yes.
Yeah.
So a code of conduct also is beneficial. I think there's a reason why it's there. And functionality, yeah, I mean any building has a function. So if it fails to fulfill the function, then you cannot call it a building. It's just useless waste of resources. So functionality definitely is the base of the first step of any design.
Yes. let's say, how did you approach site analyze and context in a design process?
Oh, so yeah, there's survey maps and things like that. So yeah, one of the very important things, one of the principles that we have is if there are existing trees on the site, we will not cut it. Those trees we will build around it. No trees will be cut. And throughout the construction process, one of the main uh, deal with the contractor is that he will have to save that tree. So it is the tree safeguarded during construction, and there should be no casualty of trees. So when I approach any site, the first thing I want is the location of the existing trees,
Okay.
and then we build around it.
Okay, it mean like you're also eco-friendly lover, let's say tree lover, that should be more interesting as
Yes,
architecture.
yes, definitely. Because trees take so many years to grow, you cannot replace those years.
Yeah,
So they will stay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and like right now, like we had a limited time. Okay, and thank you for your time. Like I really enjoyed this time with you. Okay, so I
Yes,
hope you really enjoyed this too. Okay, and
yes.
thank you and see you soon. Okay.
Sure. Thanks a lot for the interview. I enjoyed it too. Do you think you can send me uh, before the content that you put on the YouTube?
Sure, sure. Like
Before?
our team will send it to you on your email. You don't worry about that. Like it will take some time. Whenever we ready, I'll just send it to you. Okay, so
Sure,
don't.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot.